Don't do that one. It's really true.
And I'm like, I just want to pee. Now, over 5 months, you become more grumpier. You've been complaining a little more. So I just thought I'd pop on, do a video while I'm waiting for Mahal Wallet. I just thought I'd talk about a few things. My experience here in the Philippines. One of the things I'd like to mention is this cool little thing here. You know, it's just a little battery bank, I guess you could say. Some people call them solar generators, just a battery bank. But it's really great because we take it around with us, and you see in the car we have this globe router with us, so it always gives us really good internet as we travel. And I know some people say, well, you know, you could just use your cell phone and the SIM card. Yeah, well, this takes a SIM card, but it's cool because it's only like what is it, like 20 or 19 or 20 US dollars per month, and we have tons and tons of gigs on it. It's just a better deal and all, and we can just take it wherever we are, and we have like our own little personal Wi-Fi internet wherever we go for multiple devices, because I can log on to it, she can log on to it, my son can log on to it wherever we are. You know, that kind of a situation, emergency situation, or just a mobile situation. It works out really cool. And it's the globe something or other router, SIM router, but it works out really cool. So that's just one thing. Another thing is this car. Since we've come, we've gotten this vehicle, which I really appreciate. If you're new to our channel, well, I didn't always have a car. We didn't always have a car. We would just take these jeepney rides, or I don't think they're called jeepneys where we are, but something like a jeepney ride. They're actually smaller where we live. And it was getting unbearable when you go out and get packages and things like that. So we talked about it and prayed about it and decided to get this little car. It's a little Wigo, a little Toyota Wigo. It's pretty cool. If you can see it, it's kind of messy right now. We need to clean it. But we got this one secondhand for about 500,000 Philippine pesos. And there's no tax, by the way. So, you know, depending on what you're doing over here in the Philippines, if it's a short stay or a long stay or, you know, whatnot, and how much traveling you do, I really do suggest getting a vehicle if at all possible. I mean, that's a pretty decent price. And the way we did it was basically on credit card because I couldn't figure out how to get one over here with all the, you know, the headaches of money transfer and everything. So I had a personal line of credit, and I used Wise, you know, that app Wise, and we transfer money, and I took the line of credit and paid off my credit card. Okay, so I looked line of credit to pay off my credit card, and what I did was sent Wise payments to Mahal's bank account, Wella's bank account, Filipina's bank account. So then in transferring enough through Wise, through my credit card to her bank account, then I just had to pay on the line of credit. So it's a weird way to do it, but that's kind of how we got our car. And we were able to do it fairly quickly that way. And it's been a real benefit because my experience here in the Philippines is that we were always out, especially like going downtown, these places, and coming home with multiple packages, and then trying to squeeze into these little trikes, vehicles, whatever you call them, and so many packages and so many people squeezed in there. And I'm a bigger guy in relation to their size, so they're not made for my size, those vehicles. And it was getting really hard, really difficult, not to mention all the times I would bang my head on the roof in those metal rides as well. But the traveling with all the packages and things, like it was getting really unbearable. A lot of times people wouldn't move over, and I'm a big guy, I have to go down into the end of the, you know, the trike or whatever you call that thing. And it was hard getting in, hard getting out with packages. We lost packages in those things. It was just a real headache. So car, thank you Lord for this car. I really appreciate this car. I give thanks to God for the car. Getting a different viewpoint making variety in the video. Since we're talking about the car briefly here now in this video, maybe I'll briefly mention driving, and you'll see it on another video in more detail, so stick around or review that video, me driving in the Philippines. It's amazing, but I'll just briefly mention it here. Driving in the Philippines is an experience unlike anything back home in North America, at least for me, that I've noticed. Amazing what you have to do. I'll try to just, give you a few little pointers of things I've seen anyway. Well, one thing that stands out when you're driving, you have this like obstacle course, because on the sidewalks they have, where there are sidewalks, in many cases they have these blockades, road blockades, and you actually have to kind of go around the blockade like this in order to go through past the sidewalk. And they're usually around school zones, I guess, trying to slow people down around the school zones. But it's a real genuine obstacle course. You have to go like this, go around the thing and go, and no one really stops, not even for the people at the pedestrian crosswalk there. It's really weird. I know, like back home, you have to stop. If someone puts one foot on the road to cross, you're supposed to stop and let them cross. But here, it's like if you do that, you're probably going to get rear-ended by someone. So it's like you have to train your brain to be rude, to keep on going, knowing that there's someone still on the sidewalk and they want to cross. But you just got to keep on going, because if you don't, someone else is going to hit you from behind. It's just, you have to retrain your brain of how to drive over here, and I just hope I don't forget how to drive back home normally after being here. It's so odd. And then you have these 2 lanes or 3 lanes, sometimes even maybe a 4th lane. It's kind of hard to tell over here, really. But you're driving down all these lanes, and usually the one on the right, which is supposedly the slow lane, you've got vehicles parked and stopped in that lane sometimes, and you're like, oh, just stay in the lane that's closest to, like, the yellow line. Just stay in that lane as much as possible, because when you get over in the other lane, you're probably just going to meet some guy who's just stopped and parked there. Even though it's a drivable lane, many guys are just stopped there. Their vehicle stopped, parked, nobody even in it. It's really something. So that's another thing I noticed when driving. And of course, I call it the dreaded left turn. Like if you're maybe downtown or just in any side road and you're trying to get back into the main road, you have to make that left turn. You got traffic, coming this way, traffic going that way, and traffic is like crazy going, and you've got to inch yourself out all the time, and hope and pray that someone's not going to hit you as you try to make that left turn. And while you're making that left turn, by the way, you've got motorcycles coming up this side, motorcycles coming up that side. Everybody's making a left turn with you. And it's like, it's an experience. So in general, it seems like there are no real rules. I know there has to be rules, but it kind of seems like there's no rules here in the Philippines when you're driving. So it's like the no rules are the rules. It's like you have to understand the no rules, how the no rules work in order to drive. So you got to know the no rules, which are the rules, in order to drive. But it's kind of a weird way to say it, but that's the kind of way it seems. But and I remember at first I was always asking, what is the speed limit here? I hardly ever seen speed limit signs, but now since then I've seen some 40 speed limit signs. When you're in the city or populous areas, 40 it seems to be, and then when you're in the open space it seems to be 80. So I think that's the 2 general speeds, 40 and 80. Sometimes I'll see 30 sometimes. So, but people tell me, oh, there's no speed, just go whatever. I don't know. And another weird phenomenon when driving, to me at least, my experience is that when you are driving on the highway, going flat out, so to speak, going 80 to me feels like you're going 120 back home. It's the same kind of feeling. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because of the traffic and the way the roads turn and hills. I don't know. But when I'm doing 80, it feels like I'm doing like 120 back home. It's kind of a weird feeling, I think. You see these rooms? They are comfort rooms, other known as bathroom. The thing that gets me is that I really had to pee, really bad. And I said, can we just go into this restaurant and pee? And Mahal Filipina says, well, we have to ask permission. I said, permission to pee? I don't get this.
You are not in Canada, we're in the Philippines.
I just want to pee. you know, we gotta go ask the gas attendant if we can go pee. And I'm like, I just want to pee.
Because this is not a public comfort room. It's a private. Yeah.
And we had to go ask the gas attendant if we could go pee.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Because some of the comfort room here is not for free. You need to pay. But in this side, this area is for free.
I just wanted to pee. This is the Philippines. Oh, it's so different. So this is kind of a collage of some of my thoughts and experiences since I've been here. I've been here since August, and right now it's in January, so all these months, and picking up bits and pieces of things. Another thing I've mentioned in other videos, but if you're new to our channel, I'll throw this in as a tidbit of information. But, you know, pack your own knife. I say that facetiously because you can find them, but they're very rare. You go to a restaurant, or even someone maybe, you know, just go to eat with someone or whatever, but generally at the restaurants, you're not going to see a knife, generally speaking. Like the highest 90%, 95%, 98%, there's never a knife. You have a fork and a spoon. In fact, one of the last meals I had 2 forks. So I ate with 2 forks. Generally it's a fork and a spoon. Doesn't matter what you're eating. You're eating some chicken or some ribs or something, and you don't get a knife, you get a fork and a spoon. So that's really a big difference and something notable worth mentioning there. You know, maybe pack a knife if you like to use your knife. Also, of course, it goes without saying, but the people here, the Philippine people, they're so nice. Really, they really are so nice. Kind of reminds me back home as well, because like where I'm from, people are very nice too. So kind of reminds me of back home, but the Philippine people are very nice. One thing that does stand out that seems an edge better here is like you go in any place at all, any shopping mall, any store, any restaurant, any place, and everyone is always saying, good day, sir. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. How are you today, sir? Always. And you just pass someone like in their store, like say you're in Robinson's shopping mall and you're just in one of their stores. Okay, you pass one employee, they'll say, good morning, sir. And then you're walking a little further and there's another one. Good morning, sir. And it's not just me. I mean, they say this to everybody. So it's like above and beyond friendliness that way. Now, I don't know if it's a trained thing. They're all supposed to say that. I'm not sure if it's just natural behavior. I'm not sure, but it happens. And I know back home, like people are friendly too, and they might say good morning, especially if you get a Walmart greeter or something like that. That's their job. But all the employees don't say anything to you. They're just doing their job. But here, every employee that you pass says something to you, like good morning, how are you? Good morning, nice to see you. Good day, sir. Like that. Everybody, and I mean everybody, all the time. So that's quite an unusual thing for me to experience, and very nice. It's very friendly. And another thing that comes to mind as I'm just reviewing my time here in the Philippines is if you want anything done or getting anything done, almost anything, you've got really got to have some patience. Okay, bring extra patience. Get an extra luggage container and pack extra patience in your extra luggage, you know, because you really need it. Everything you need extra patience. For example, I mentioned already that, you know, I'm here waiting for Mahal Wella Filipina to get her birth certificate. This is like our 4th time and she still hasn't got it yet, so we're, you know, that's patience. Even when you go to the supermarket, you know, back home, basically you might be in line for a few minutes and everybody goes through, you know, beep 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 with their items, and the next person. Here is like it seems like it takes a very long time. And you know, I had my driver's license. It was like a day's process just to get my driver's license done. Maybe that's just my experience, I don't know, but we had, you know, back and forth kind of thing. Everything just takes like a very, very long time, it seems. So that's another thing I've noticed. Also, I've noticed concerning workers in the Philippines, there are so many. It's like, you go in a mall, for example, I mentioned the mall, like a Robinson's Mall or Gaisano Mall, and there are employees everywhere. In the supermarket, everywhere. I mean, employees everywhere. So many employees. And it's way more than I'm used to seeing in a standard or typical business location. I mean, multiples more. And I don't know, is it just the Philippines trying to employ everybody? I'm not really sure, but there sure are a lot of, it seems to me like a lot of extra employees by multiples. That's what it seems like. That's just a thought I've noticed anyway. Also, another thought of me noticing things in the Philippines during my trip here. Like I said, I've been here since August and now it's January. With employees, I've mentioned that already in this video. So the phone and employees, even though they're employees, everyone is still on their phone. It looks like they're just scrolling on their phone. Some people might be leaning against the wall scrolling on their phone, someone leaning over their desk scrolling on their phone. Phones in general are an epidemic over here. Everybody's addicted to their phone. Now I do, you know, pull out my phone, check a few things, but I usually put it away again. You know, I'll maybe check it multiple times and so on and so forth. But here, it's like a whole new level of people using their phones. It's like constant. And even with the employees, you're walking through the mall, for example, and you see all these businesses like cell phone companies or just regular companies, and everybody's just standing there, you know, scrolling through their phone. It's just amazing to me. It's like over the top usage of phones, in my opinion. It's outside restaurant. It's actually across from McDonald's. See, Mickey D's? Oh, here it is right here on the poster. I'm not sure how to say it. Is it at Teckles? I don't know. So, I've been here about 5 months. Did you know?
Yeah. Time flies so fast.
Yeah. So, have there been any differences, changes in anything since I've arrived?
What kind of changes?
I'm asking you.
I'm not lonely at night. I have someone to hug. Don't delete this one. Why? You should. Are you embarrassed with me?
No, I'm not embarrassed with you. Just certain things you don't really want to post on YouTube.
No, you can post it.
Has things been like the same, different, better, worse? Have I changed in any kind of way, in your opinion, like since I've gotten here? I've been here 5 months. Have I changed like for the worse, for the better, about the same? Like, just trying to get your opinion of these past 5 months.
Don't change forever.
Okay, that's your wish for the future. Back to my original question.
Don't change your...
Maybe she's avoiding this because maybe I have changed in some way. You're avoiding the question. Have I changed in the past 5 months since I've been here day one? Have I had any changes?
No, that's why I said
noticed?
don't change. Because you're not changing.
I thought you might say, you know, yeah, over 5 months you've become more grumpier, you've been complaining a little more.
No, why should I say that? It's a normal thing.
You're so beautiful. Every time I look in
Don't
your
delete
eyes,
this one. Don't.
Every time I look in your eyes is like the first time.
And share our...
Oh, we have food.
Yay!
Good. So this chicken looks like the one that ran across the road last night. Well, I was in the car going to do a conclusion to that video, but we stopped by a monastery here in Balai, so I thought, hey, why not just step out and do a conclusion here? It's so beautiful, so peaceful here. The temperature is amazing. This is still in Balai. So I hope you enjoyed some of my thoughts since being here in the Philippines. And stick around for our next video. Love for you to check out some of our older LDR videos as well. And you know, one in particular was our reaction video. I'm mentioning it a lot on the end of videos because we're somewhat of a new channel, so not a lot of people know about us. So go back and look at our reaction video with Gio in the Philippines, Enrique and Paul, because they had one perspective view, which I respect, but we had our perspective of what they talked about too, about meeting a Filipina. So hope you check that out and look at the two views and tell us what you think in the comments. Thanks for tuning in again today. Hey, come visit the Philippines. It's so beautiful here. Yeah, I think in 5 months you've just got prettier and nicer and more graceful. That's my
Yeah, and I'm getting bigger and he's getting skinnier.
You keep saying that. It's not really true, I don't think.
You see, look at me.
Prettier.
I cannot. Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, The Filipina and the Foreigner. God bless us, guys. Amen.
Amen. That's good.
All the time.